Hey guys, it's Sarah and today is BookList Thursday. So this is a video series that I'm doing in collaboration with Lisa from Books and Smiles, and I will leave her channel link down below. Please go check her out. She is amazing, and we are teaming up to do these book lists for every Thursday. So this week our topic is going to be spooky recommendations. It's October, everyone's getting into the spooky mood, myself included. So I wanted to give you guys some recommendations, and then I'm going to show you a few books off my shelf that I have not read that I'm really interested in reading that fall under this category. And then after that, I'm going to need your help because I only have 7 books that I'm talking about today. And our goal every week is kind of to do 10 if we can, have a full list of 10 books. I don't have that this week because I don't have that many in this category that I've read so far. So I want your help because this is definitely a category I want to get more into, especially around this time of year. So I'm going to need your recommendations afterwards as well. Okay, the first one that I'm going to recommend is actually a book series, and I think there are 10 books in this series as of right now. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more coming out or not, but this is the Jack Daniel's series written by J.A. Conrath. Each book is named after a cocktail. It's pretty cool. The first one, I believe, is called Whiskey Sour. And this follows a detective. Her name is Jack Daniels. Her full name is Jacqueline Daniels, so they call her Jack Daniels for short. And she hunts serial killers. She is a detective and investigator, and she is kind of in that department. And she ends up becoming the subject of many of the serial killers' adorations. So she really finds herself a whole lot, just kind of in dangerous situations. And these books are definitely scary because you're dealing with really insane people. And J.A. Conrath does not shy away from the crazy. These people are crazy. It's a little gory. There's nothing over the top. I'm not big into a bunch of gore, but I flew through these books. So if I can handle it, I think a lot of other people can handle it as well. But there are a few scenes here and there that kind of make you wince a little bit, and you're like, oh, but they're really, really good. And there's a really good amount of humor in here as well. J.A. Conrath is pretty funny. So I definitely recommend that series. If it's something that you're interested in, I am planning to reread that entire series next year because I believe he came out with either 2 or 3 books in this series in the past year, and it had been a very long time since he'd written in that series. Then he came out with a few more. So I want to actually go back and reread all of this books because if I jump in right now with the newest ones, I'm not going to remember enough to be able to jump into it and pick up right where it left off. So that's going to be one of my big goals for next year, spoiler alert, is to reread the Jack Daniel's series. So if anyone's interested, maybe I can do a read along or something like that. We'll have to see about that if enough people are interested. But definitely 100% I recommend those. And if you are an e-reader and you have a Kindle or something you can read on like that, these books go down to 99 cents or free quite often. And if you follow him on Facebook, I'll try to leave his Facebook link down below, or even Twitter, I think too. Either one, he will announce when his books go down dramatically in prices. So he'll be like free or 99 cents or $1.99 or whatever. So you can go grab them for pretty cheap. And I think at least the first one is on Kindle Unlimited too, so you can read it for free. The next one, oh my gosh, American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Whew, this book. Oh my gosh. I do not own a copy of this book, but I want to. I actually want to buy it physically. I'm kind of holding out for a really cool edition though. I haven't been able to find many really cool editions of it, like anniversary editions or anything. So if you guys know of any, let me know. But this book messed me up. It really did. This is one of the only books where I've had to physically put it down a couple of times while I was reading it because I just could not handle what was happening. I had to put it down. I had to walk away for a day or so, and then I went back to it, but I was definitely engaged the whole time. It was just crazy. So this follows a man named Patrick Bateman, and he's living in New York City. He's kind of living the high life, and he's really successful, like a banker or investor or something crazy. I don't even fully remember what it is, but he wears a suit to work every day, and he's very hung up on, labels and, eating at the best restaurants, and the image is everything to him, basically. He's also a coke addict. He is also a psychopathic serial killer who does extremely violent and extremely terrible things to women mostly, and a couple of men. There were a couple of men in there too. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to describe the things that he does. And if you've seen the movie with Christian Bale, then you have a good idea of what I'm talking about. I'm sure the book is a lot more graphic, but I have not seen the movie yet. I kind of want to, but I'm a little scared too. This book really it didn't scare me so much as it just made me go, bleh, like physically. I literally pushed it away from me a couple of times. It was very, very intense, and I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars, and I want to own a copy, so what does that say? Okay, the next one is actually a comic book series, and that is the Walking Dead comic book series. I love The Walking Dead. It is my favorite show on television. I can't get enough of it. I cannot wait for the next season to start on October 22nd. Not that I'm counting down. Oh, it's my jam. After I started watching the show, I decided to pick up the comic books to kind of see, how the show and the comic books are similar and how they're different. And there's definitely some big differences between them. It follows the main, everything's mainly the same, and a lot of the characters are in it. The only characters, as far as I got anyway, I only read the first 3 compendium volumes, but there was Daryl and his brother were not in the comic books. They are the show only, and which is really funny because Daryl is Daryl. He's the fan favorite, so that was pretty interesting. But I could definitely, see the differences and the similarities throughout the comics. I only, like I said, read up until I believe when they left the prison is when I stopped reading the comics. So I haven't continued on since. But what I read, I really, really enjoyed. And I think even for myself, who's not into comic books or graphic novels, if it's a subject matter that you love already, I think you would enjoy it. So if you like the show and you're interested in, what the original material is, I would definitely try to pick these up. All right, the last one that I have read already is a trilogy, and that is the Wayward Pines trilogy written by Blake Crouch. All right. Blake Crouch in general, number one, is an author that I have given 5 stars to every single book of his that I've read, and I've read 5 of them, I believe, so far. He's phenomenal. I think he's great. He's really good at keeping you guessing. He's really good at surprising you, and just every time I read one of his books, I'm left very, very satisfied with what I read. Now, however, the end of this trilogy, there was an epilogue that made me go, why would you put that in there? Because now I want more, and I don't know if there's going to be more. So Wayward Pines is about a police officer, I believe that is his job, or he's a detective or something. He's something in law enforcement. And his partner ends up going missing, or his ex-partner. And him and another person are kind of on their way to this town where she was last located to see if they can figure out what happened to her, because no one's heard from her. Oh, they find her, and they find this town called Wayward Pines. And it's one of those towns where if you go in, you can't leave. And he doesn't know why. He doesn't, no one's talking about that type of thing. They're just welcoming him with open arms, like everything's normal, like he's a part of their community now. And he is desperately trying to get out because he has a wife and son back home, and he wants to get back to them, but he can't leave, literally. So this was actually turned into a miniseries on TV as well. I think there's 2 seasons. The first season was on with Matt Dillon, and that follows this trilogy to the T. And then the second season I have not watched yet, but I have it recorded, but I think it's just a continuation type thing. And yeah, it's really good. I'm going to leave it there because a lot of things happen and a lot of things are unexpected, and I don't want anything to get ruined. But let's just say it gets pretty intense and it gets pretty scary. I wasn't expected for it to get scary, but it was. Okay, now I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I just have on my shelves that fall into this category that I want to read. And the first one is actually one that I'm currently reading, and that's The Child Thief by Brahm. This is a very dark take on Peter Pan. Peter Pan is one of the main characters in here, and he's literally stealing children. He's stealing children that have a specific kind of need and like qualifications, I guess you could say. So he's not just stealing anyone and everyone. He has specific people that he's looking for. And I'm only 2 chapters into this, guys. I've only finished chapter 2, but it is dark. It is very, very dark. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Peter Pan is not a good guy in here at all. He's not the Disney fairy tale person. And I'm just really excited to see exactly what's going to happen in here. So yeah. Okay, the next one is Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. I want to read Joe Hill just in general. I have this one on my shelf, and I think I have one other book on my Kindle from him. But he is actually Stephen King's son, and I'm interested to give him a try and to see what I think. I'm about to start reading a bunch from his father, hopefully. So it'd be nice to, you know, kind of see what his son does as well. But I've heard really good things about Joe Hill as a writer, and that he's really good at the spooky stuff. Okay, and my last one that I want to talk about that's on my shelf is The Diviners by Libba Bray, and this is kind of following ghosts, I believe, and it's set in the 1920s. That is all I really know, but I'm really interested in reading this. I've heard really good things about it, and I love this cover. Like, I love this edition of this book. I think it's beautiful. And yeah, so I believe ghosts are kind of like the biggest topic in this book. All right, guys, that is it for my spooky recommendations. I'm sorry I don't really have any more for you, but this is definitely something that I want to get into a little bit more. So please, please, please leave me comments down below. Leave me your recommendations for spooky books or scary books or books that are really good to read in October or the fall time and all that. I am open to anything and everything. So leave them down below so I can add them to my list to check out. All right, hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.